Hey guys, Kuzu here, back with another stream. Let's get to it. I'm gonna do the links like normal. Copy link, hit the Instagrams, boom, shaboom. Got the Instagram link. Shoot it, and Twitter twatters. Boom, shoot it, and we good. All right. So these images are for TikTok. Give me just a second. Closing a door there. What's up, everyone? Rolling in here. Oop, touch my camera. All right. Oh, you're just watching my video? AJ Bell? Let's get to this page. Hey, what's up, everybody? Rolling in. Be right back, says Sparky. What's up, Melon Fruit? What's up, Hatatake? What's up, Mystic-Stickverg? What's up, Rain? What's up, Ataka 100? Alright. Let's get to some drawing. I was doing some pencil today. Hey, what's up, Shiny? What's up, Kate? What's up, Rishi? What's up, Painter? What's up, Treyu? What's up, Omar? What's up, Jordy? Alright. Let's go. Gonna be leaving these as is when it comes to the head. I'm back, says Sparky. Sounds good. I saw that short you did. Oh, yeah. I'm starting to try to take the shorts that I put up on TikTok, and I'm going to try to put them over here. I almost thought about making a completely separate shorts account on YouTube, which I might still do. I don't know. I'll have to see. Probably not. Just because I think it would be useful to put the shorts on my streaming channel as well. It makes sense, right? Kinda. Alright, let's keep going here. Kinda wanted to do some things where Oh, let's go up. No Home Depot pencil? Ah, it's right here. I'll be using it. It's just I use the Home Depot pencil when I'm going to use marker, and right now I'm not using any marker. I'm just drawing clothing with the pencil right now. We'll get to some of that stuff. We'll be doing a few things here. Which I'm telling you guys, man, you guys and like me drawing those chick anatomy bodies. Because on my TikTok, the newest chick anatomy body I was doing is doing pretty decent. What is your biggest fear? My biggest fear? Depends on which category. I think on the deepest level, my biggest fear is turning out to be as much of a, I don't know if I want to say it like that, to live the life I was given by my parents and repeat their failures. I think that's my biggest fear. To not live up to my full potential as well. That's another biggest fear of mine. And I think that, yeah. On the deepest level. On the not so deepest level, I'm scared of the dark. I don't like the dark so much. But that's only when I think about it too much. I wish you would bring back the redesign series. I will be. It will be a kind of limited time to do it, but yes. Like, when I say limited time, I'm only going to be doing it maybe like once a month or something. But yes, I will be bringing back the redesign series for sure. Or also, sorry about the sound in the background. There will be a tiny bit of sound in the background for a little bit. Alright, so we got that there. Let's go ahead and maybe, so let's go ahead and maybe draw a little head up here just real quick. Let me think of something. You have any tips on practicing perspective? I would suggest to go watch my first How to Draw Anything video part 1. It should be called that. It should be How to Draw Anything part 1. There's 3 videos with that title. One was done like 2-3 years ago, and it explains a lot of the steps that I'm going to be going over. And then the How to Draw Anything part 1 is actually me going over these steps, and that part 1 is perspective, 1, 2, and 3 point perspective, the basic rules of it, so you can actually kind of go through it. And it basically gives you the idea of what to practice, but past there, it'll give you those general rules to be able to then go practice it in those general standards. But if you want to know a little bit more about it, you could easily just search up like stuff on YouTube or Pinterest, look up perspective, and they'll give you more complicated versions of it once you're kind of ready for that. But that's the easy answer for now. This is like a ripped younger kid. Alright. Oh, something. 1, 6, 3. What mechanical pencil am I using? I am using one called Clear Point. It was like the cheapest one there. It's 0.9 as well. It's a very big one because this is very big paper. What's up, Dark Artist? What's up, Pickle Rick? What's up, Aiden? What's up? I have anime PFP, so I smart. What's up, Speed Planter? What's up, Eilish? What's up, Cornhead? What's up, Ink 182? Hey, all right. Deepa pencil we have. What music do you put in the background? It's all copyright free music from YouTube. How to draw female hips? I mean, female hips aren't like that much different than male hips. The only difference is they're bigger and more just rounded. I would have to say because of the fat deposits, the type of fat deposits that women have are a little bit different than men's. I mean, they're in the same spot. They're just, the ratios are slightly different. It's kind of like having. Oh, let me make sure I have this straight. Let me make sure this is straight. Like a dude has smaller hips, bigger torso. Got 93 people in here. Good to see everyone. And women have more of a. Trying to make sure I got it off to a good side. Women have a smaller torso, typically speaking, and then hips that I say are either the same size as the torso or a tiny bit bigger. If you make them too much bigger, it looks a little strange. That's why I'm kind of giving like a generalization. Hey, what's up, Kosh? So as you can see with the guy, if we go down to our normal triangle here, much more masculine. I'm just going to cut off that bottom part there. There we go. And then we're going to do that, this. Yes, we have this, that. That's fine. We're not going to go too in depth with the anatomy right now. I should do that hand style. Don't be lazy, Kuzo. Trying to make sure I use all the brain powers I got. That's a guy. And now with the smaller torso and potentially skinnier neck. And there you go. That's kind of like the difference. You can see the difference in size of the torso and the difference in size in the hips. And then I gave more roundedness and less jaggedness for the women. Right, let's move forward. that. Now from here, I kind of want to I'm just trying to play around with the sleeve right here. Just trying to get tips on hair. Yeah, hair is essentially this shape and a generalization. This is the generalization of hair. It's that shape right there. Then it might, differ in size difference there, or even direction, it might differ. And then from there, if I go ahead and do this, which I've done demonstrations like this quite a bit on here. See, it essentially makes that kind of weird spiky type of hair on the head. That's a quick version of it, obviously, but general concept there. You can kind of break down and look at other illustrations based on that formula to find out the rest for yourself. Past that point, what I just shown. Okay. Trying to get my my flow for some of the clothes nice. No, it's not Bakugo. If anything, I would have to say this hair, in my opinion, is a little bit closer to Killua, if anything. Hey, what's up, Skid McBeater? Skeet McBeat Beat with the super chat says, what's going on with Bounty's Gate? Bounty's Gate is going to be doing very good, don't worry. I'm actually going to be making a deadline for myself to stick to very soon here. I say very soon here because this sketchbook challenge is nuts. It's been very, very nuts lately. But thank you again for super chat. I really do appreciate it. Like, actually, in the past like 32 hours, roughly 48 hours, I don't know if it would be the next big thing, but I don't know about that, but in the last 48 hours, 48 hours, I've been thinking to myself, man, I kind of want to do manga pages right now. What am I doing? Let's get. I was gonna draw a quick my favorite anime character, that's really hard. I would have to say the one that is most impactful for me is Naruto. Just because the generation I grew up in was, a lot of you people here probably have a generation of My Hero, Black Clover, maybe Boruto. I grew up in the generation of Naruto, and Naruto was cutting edge back then. It was different. I mean, not different. Too much. It was just more. It connected with the younger audience a little more simply than some of the other stuff. Like Dragon Ball Z was like these grown-looking men like fighting each other, which it was super awesome. Don't get me wrong, I really liked it. But Naruto hit at a different type of level, a deeper level, because it was about that outcast kid, this and that, you know, that type of thing. How much pages do I do a day? If you're talking about this specifically, anywhere between 15 to 20, 25, depends. Sometimes I go up to 30. All right. By the way, exactly how I do these clothes wrinkles are going to be in the new Patreon video coming out. I actually have it uploaded. I actually just need to send the Patreon the link to it. Give them access to it. So it's all uploaded and everything. It's ready. So what's going on for today's stream? Just gonna be drawing a lot of stuff. Gonna be working on some of these pages for the 600 page challenge. Let me see how many pages I actually have done today, or I've actually done all day. Specifically today. All right, let's go and see. I'll even count the ones. Okay, there we go. I had done last night. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Only 13. Anime I grew up with was X-Arm? Huh. I don't know if I heard of that. Is it mech anime? I'll be back soon. I was in car when the stream started. Alright, we'll see you soon. Again, Shiny. Got 132 people in here with 79 likes. 79 likes. Interesting. There's a bit of a disparity there. But the question is why? Any tips for drawing, practicing expressions? I mean, quite literally, the best thing to do for expressions is to play around with the eyes and nose, not nose as much even, eyes, eyebrows, and mouth. I mean, I think I already did a slight demonstration on here, but I actually have something on my Patreon for that. I have a anatomy sheet that shows like different expressions, and you would probably be able to tell the difference between a lot of them, because when you do expressions, you're really just taking the face, and what would happen with an eye if you took the eye and it was like this compared to if it was then like this. Well, one's surprised. Now, what would happen if you changed the eyebrow to moving up? Now it looks sad. Well, if you changed it to moving down, now it looks mad. Now with this one, it looks surprised sad, almost like something terrible happened. Now if it goes down, it looks like maybe surprised mad, but depending on how you do the smile, it could actually be creepy. So just play with that type of stuff. Like the eye's either going to be small, normal, relaxed, going underneath the, you could even go as far as to what's going to happen if we take the eye and we go all the way down like that. They don't look like they're necessarily looking up if you do it right. It looks like they're more so like kind of nonchalant. They just don't really care as much, or they're a little upset, or maybe if it has a creepy smile, this could be one of those creepy things. So those are the things you have to look for. What kind of hair we want to do? I don't know. Oh, let's move that up a little bit. Oh, here's something. Hey, what's up, Johnny? What's good? You say not much. Well, that's the other thing. How you doing? Or what's going on? Not much. What's good? I don't know. It's good that Instagram's working again. My newest video is doing pretty bad with the hands. It's all good. Figure it out. Hopefully. All right. Hey, what's up, Gozui? Gozui? What would be a good way to get over ruining a sketchbook when trying to improve drawing poses and body shape? Ruining a sketchbook when I'm not sure what you mean by that. A sketchbook, you might be afraid to draw in the sketchbook because you're afraid that you're going to waste the paper, or you're going to draw something bad in the sketchbook. Like, have you looked at other people's sketchbook tours on YouTube? Like, they'd be like, sketchbook tour, and they're like finished drawings. My sketchbook is definitely a little bit different than a lot of theirs. My sketchbook is literally sketches. I use my sketchbook to get better. If my anatomy sketches in it look bad, they look bad. The truth is that I think it's cool to use the sketchbook almost as a little time capsule if you keep the dates and everything on when you actually did it from start to finish or whatever in that sketchbook. You can hopefully see a noticeable difference from the time you start it to the time you finish it in your work, which I think is really cool. I use sketchbooks for that purpose. I used to be the person who was worried about ruining my sketchbook or wasting the paper, and there's something to be said about having a little time capsule all in one book of a time period. It's kind of cool. It's better than even practicing just on printer paper. Which, by the way, if you're practicing on printer paper, good. Like, it's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. Like, hopefully you're still just doing the same practices and getting better. But I'm saying there is a nostalgia to being able to go back to that sketchbook. I have like now sketchbooks after sketchbooks after sketchbooks showing my improvement. Cheap sketchbooks can be good. Oh gosh, yeah. Dude, okay. This sketchbook, relatively, if you're talking about the price in the US, this sketchbook is cheap compared to the amount of paper in it. This sketchbook was, hey, we got 150 people in here with 119 likes. A bit of a disparity in the likes there, but we'll see. Yeah, that's actually really cheap for how many pages there are, considering. There's a part of my tongue that really hurts, so if I talk kind of weird right now, that's why. I thought the hand vid was good, drew along and was killing it. That's awesome to hear, though. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. I tried out some different like camera angle changes during the video. Hopefully some people who have been longtime watchers, hopefully they had some sort of enjoyment from that, because I have been doing the same kind of thing for a long time with the channel, and I wanted to try to change it up. And like I said in my last stream, I am going to be working to do better on those angle changes and finding out good time frames to change the angle, because I think it can be very beneficial if I do it properly. Because I have like a close-up and then our normal like far away, and I have like a close-up angle. I think it works. I was hoping it would do better, but I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Could be the title. Could be a lot of things. Who knows? But we gotta keep going, and potentially find out why one day. This one is a study of this, and I will be throwing it in my 600-page folder. I'm trying to actively, not just mindlessly try to copy this, but actively really trying to figure some stuff out here. Trying to also retain some information when I look at it. What would you say the first step to getting better at faces would be? Getting better at faces? Everything from learning how to generally even draw an eye, to learning how to draw a nose, to learning how to draw a decent mouth. Because if you know how to at least draw those things separately, the ratio after that is what matters. How big you make it on the face, where you put it on the face, and from there, being able to even draw the face is extremely important. So that comes as well, but being able to draw those other two things, or three things, eyes, nose, mouth, separately, it should be able to help you just place it on the head once you learn how to draw the head properly. Which from the front view, I already have a video on this on my YouTube channel, how to draw heads from any angle, or how to draw anime head. There's another one from the front specifically, and the front is like the easiest thing from the front is you take the head, or you make this little wedge that is moving at an angle like that slightly. You make a triangle at the bottom, you make a dome at the top, and then we go boom. We go a little bit almost towards the middle, like that, bam. And then we have where the eyes go, the nose, mouth goes on that line. Boom. You have an anime face. Of course, I made circular eyes, but literally this shape goes like this. That's how it goes. Now, from different angles, of course it's going to be different from different angles, but I've got 149 people in here and 150 likes. Look at that. Look at that. Someone said my real name, Alice. How you doing, Alice? Can you teach us how to put a head on a neck? Funny thing you say that, woke. I've actually shown that on stream before. Wow. We've gotten almost 20 subs since we started the stream tonight. That's coolio. I found out my shorts were doing alright on YouTube, so I was like, I might as well post another one today. On this channel. The shorts were doing decent. I was like, oh, okay. So the shorts are doing decent enough where maybe if I post a few of them here and there, like I make them for TikTok and post them also on here, it might be beneficial for the channel. And I was like, might as well do it. Oh, let's go up here. It's going to be hard to get these feet in here. It's going to be towards the bottom of the screen. We got it. It's going to come up before the crease up here and do this. And then it's going to come out further like that. This is going to do this. Create a shape here. Come into bottom, too close to middle of knee. Come up here, slightly converge up to there. That's about correct. All right. When making a new character, do you come up with the clothes designs? I mean, yeah. If I'm making a new character, it's not going to be someone else's character or someone else's clothes. I mean, of course, there's always a thing where if you're creating a more realistic, non-fantasy, first of all, you can always get inspiration from stuff. And I'm not saying you. Just remember, for the younger audience, there is a big difference between like almost plagiarism and reference, or just like inspiration. Inspiration can be a small aspect of something, or learning the general concept on how knight armor is made. Also, just because there's specific kinds of knight armor doesn't mean you're plagiarizing knight armor if it's an actual knight armor that existed at one point. Now, if you're completely taking someone else's original knight armor design, that is plagiarism in its own type of way. I don't know how much they would be able to get you for that, unless it was something that was copyrighted in like a video game. But yeah, just gotta be careful with that type of stuff. It's best to really know how to use inspiration and certain types of reference. And when I say reference, I'm talking about, like, for example, I'm going to draw a dog in this one angle or something. I don't know how to draw a dog. I'm not finding the dog in that specific angle, but what I'm doing is I'm finding a dog and being like, okay, their muzzle does this type of thing, and then correctly drawing that animal and its proportions correctly. So it's almost kind of like, oh, knight armor can either be jagged or it can be a bit smoother. And you'd be like, which one do I want to do? Okay, they have shoulder plates. Okay, they have chest plates. Sometimes they have plates in the mid area. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have chainmail. So you're taking into account what actually makes up these designs. What makes up these designs? And then you can be like, if it encompasses this certain shape language, such as sharper shapes, duller shapes, you incorporate those types of shapes into a design, and you create an original design that's not like the other one, but you broke down what builds that design. Like, for example, Owen, I made a design that was based on the generalized construction of shonen characters. That's what I made him based off of, with colors and kind of design ratio when I made him. But he doesn't actually look like any shonen character. I knew that there's one very defining trait on each character for the most part, and I made that defining characteristic on Owen. I made that his huge ahoge on the top of his head. Like, anyone sees him, they're gonna know it's him, like, because of that huge ahoge. And then on top of that, he has a more like old school militarized looking button setup going directly down. That's also a pretty good trademark feature to have, because it's also not militarized. It's just the way I did it. Doesn't look militarized, but it's based off of that kind of old school military uniform button up stuff. Also, it's on like older like jackets people wore too, just in general, because I always really liked that stuff. I always really liked buttons like that. And once again, if you guys haven't seen it, for those who came in, I'm doing reference from this. I'm not just reference, it's not referencing, I'm doing a straight study of this drawing. And that's why when I'm done, I will write down study on it. Oh, Kosh gotta go to bed. Good night, Kosh. Thank you for chilling with us. We got 160 people in here and 171 likes. Good to see everybody drop a lopping in. I saw your Pinterest, and there's all art folders and a Bloodborne folder. Yeah. I don't know if they're all public, but yes, there is a Bloodborne folder. Darn, I'm late, Arbery says. You're not that late. I started the stream a little late today in general. Alright, let's go in here and do some drawing. Some actual drawing here. Okay. Now, the whole point of me even doing this study specifically is that the fact that I'm trying to get used to doing studies again, and I haven't been doing enough of them the past few days because I wanted to use my mind a little bit more and come up with my own things. So this is something I would have never done. This is something I want to take away from this drawing. Thank you, Kuzo, for inspiring me with my art. Hey, no problem there, melon fruit. Glad I could be here to help inspire. I got recommended about your one-shot. Oh gosh, from who? Asta draws. Who recommended you my one-shot? Are you talking about Steamlek? Because that thing is old. And if you are talking about Steamlek, one of the things to take away from that one shot is the fact that my paneling was way under that I didn't. There's something I learned from that, and I learned that I had to learn how to panel properly. I had to learn that over paneling was a big problem in that one shot. I over paneled. And there was a reason for that. And I was trying to fit in a bunch of stuff into the series. Or the one shot. I cut out actually a bunch of content. That was one of my biggest failures as with one shots, and even now that I'm still working on is making it too large and then having to cut too much. And it makes you do a lot of things you don't want to do with the one shot. So I try to cram in as much as possible while cutting out a bunch of content. Do I have the link to my one shot? I don't specifically have it on hand. So what page you on? I'm on page 163. Kuzo, you are still alive after all these everyday streams. Not every day, but yes, I'm still alive, just barely there. No, I'm kidding. Kuzo, you ever get one of those days where anything you draw is kind of off? So funny you mentioned that. Yes and no. So it's never like it used to be. Like I know the days you're talking about very vividly. Like I remember them, and they were horrible. And the difference is now I have something to fall back onto. Before, it felt hopeless because basically you had days where you everyone has off days. Yes, I have off days, but it's not the same as when you're beginning, because when I'm having an off day, I'll take a second to regroup myself at some point. Sometimes I try to just, I almost said pile drive through it. Let's go with it. That term is typically not used for this. It's used for something much more erotic. Pile driving. I would just try to push through it. Sometimes that just doesn't work. And when I'm saying falling back on something, I would fall back onto the fundamentals. If I know perspective and something's not working out, and I know form well enough, the thing is, if you're good enough at knowing these fundamentals and these skills of the craft, even if you're not inspired, you should be able to create something that looks good. Just based on having those specific skills that you've developed and learned. And that's why I mean it's not the same as it used to be, where when you don't have these things to fall back on and they're not like your strong foundation when you're having a hard time, it just feels hopeless and you're just like, ugh, I hate this. Oh my gosh, can't believe this is happening right now. I suck so much, all this stuff, you know? But now if I'm having a really hard time with something, I'm like, obviously something is wrong here. Like, I'm obviously doing something wrong within my fundamentals within this drawing. Or I'm not taking something completely serious in this drawing that I should have. Or if I was doing a big drawing or something, or a pose, something might be off from either the perspective to the anatomy to the ratio, stuff like that. And that's what I mean by honing like your knowledge and skill. Because if something's wrong with the drawing, it could be anything from a portion to the pose, to the ratio of body parts, to the form in which you kind of did the body part, or a facial structure. Just knowing these things as you get better, it changes. But like I said, it's not that you don't have off days. It's just you have something to fall back onto that keeps your art still at that level of everything that you've learned, all those skills and the knowledge you've you know worked so hard to obtain. By the way, I don't know if I can. Let me go here and see if I can actually. It's one of the first things that show up actually. See. Steamlek, Christopher Crady. Steamlek. It's just Steam Lek. And this is it here. Let me just make sure I clear out all my notifications just in case. I'm not advertising any of this stuff. I'm just showing you. That's the cover. This is another advertisement. Another cover. Okay. There we go. This is the start of the manga. Fun stuff. I remember doing this panel. Oh. Well. Remember doing that panel very vividly. By the way, if you did not know, I did a lot of this on Procreate and Medibang. Yeah, but you can already kind of see some of my panel problems and my bubble problems. Look at these bubbles. Insane what I was doing here. This is what I mean by I learned a lot from doing this one shot. Like, look at the amount of bubbles. And my basically my look on it from this one shot that I was doing, my look based on this one shot was One Piece has a bunch of bubbles. I should be able to do that many bubbles too. Well, the problem was I did more bubbles than One Piece. What's your Pinterest? Probably my name, I think Christopher Crady. But you can also look up 600 page PG. That's what I put it as, 600 PG. So it should come up as a folder. Oh, is it locked? Darn it. 600 PG Sketchbook Challenge. I saved it. Let me go here and make sure it's not locked. Man, how do you do this? Secret board. Notes. Edit board. Keep board secret. Turn off. Make board visible. Okay. Okay, that board should be visible now. This should be... Yeah, that should be visible now. Just making sure I got everything here. Like I said, everything else is going to be private. If anything else shows up, don't worry, it's all going to be private soon. Because that's how I roll. Or at least that's what I've been told by much bigger artists than me. It doesn't matter. I'll leave a lot of these things here. I don't want to do this during stream right now. We've got 173 people in here. Good to see you. So I believe my name on here is Christopher Crady. And then if you go on there, the 600-page sketchbook challenge thing should be on there. And basically, if you... If you want to see the stuff that I'm using reference for on here for my studies, they should all be on here. There we go. There we go. Alright, so that should be public. It looks like I accidentally locked it thinking it would go public again. I don't know, that was weird. Anyways, 176 people in here and 198 likes. Good to see everybody in here. Wow, your voice changed. Did it? How so? There we go. I need to get back to my reference. How you spell? It's Christopher Crady, Krady. I mean, you can also look up. This is the name of the folder right here. This is the name of the folder. 600-page sketchbook challenge. So you should be able to find it. Kuzo, don't say that about your one try. It's not a failure. It's an attempt that turned out not as you expected. No. It's not. It's not good. It's not good. This reference is taking, or this study is taking frickin' forever. Let's turn our brains all the way on. Oh, dang it. Let's go down here and get these shoes properly. Got 169 people in here. Good to see everybody. Alright. Alright. When I try to follow you, it takes me to Twitter. I don't know. I mean, it's not. It might be hooked up to my Twitter or something. It's not to necessarily follow me on there. I think you can follow the folder specifically on there. I've never followed someone's folder, so I'm not sure exactly how that works. I don't know how Pinterest works other than saving like illustrations. Are you following a reference? Yes, for this one specifically I am. I don't do it with all of them though. Like for example, everything else on this page is not based on a reference. Alright, and there we go. I think we're going to call it good on that, and we can go to the next page. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that heavy of a reference again. Or study. Do perspective, then anatomy, and perspective helps your anatomy not be stiff. That's not quite true. It's more so perspective helps you be able to understand form, which form then allows you to also understand anatomy to a different level, and then from there, when you learn perspective well enough and form well enough, you can learn anatomy pretty well, and then from there, to feel not stiff with your anatomy and stuff in different poses, you're going to want to learn gesture more so. What song? You're probably talking about the song right before this one, because this one just started. This one's called Easy Sunday. The one before it was called Distant Lands. That's called Distant Lands. And it's from copyright-free YouTube music. So nothing special. It's quite literally the lowest form of like stuff you can get on like the internet. By the way, it took me a long time to gather this list of songs that don't suck from there. How should one go about practicing learning from a perspective? I mean, you're going to want to learn how to draw normal, just normal shapes and perspective at first. Cubes, squares, anything like that. That's going to be the first thing you want to learn. I mean, like, if you can't do proper cubes and rectangles and triangles in perspective, how do you expect to go ahead and do a human body? You should be able to do cylinders and stuff like that. That's the first step. Second step is learning how to craft more organic shapes into perspective. That's one of the things. So I say you want to learn how to craft more organic shapes into perspective, but I'm even talking about like taking the human body and even simplifying it down to even slightly more complicated geometrical shapes that eventually you can craft into even more organic body shapes. And those are the shapes I've shown so many times in these streams and in my sketchbooks and stuff. So part of what I'm talking about is stuff like this. These are geometrical. These are more so organic geometrical shapes that are here right now. These are more organic geometrical shapes. This is in perspective. You would eventually get to something like that. There's some here somewhere. Yeah, stuff like this. These are simple, more organic geometrical shapes. I'm saying more organic because the less organic ones that are more geometrical are the ones where I say you can craft. Wait, I actually have it somewhere if I can find it. Someone asked me to do it in the last stream. Crafting one of the last streams, crafting a torso. Oh, darn it. I don't know where it is. Basically, you can craft a torso out of the geometrical version of a torso out of this type of rectangular prism. And what you do from here is you look at it as a rectangular prism, but we then cut this top part, then we cut down, So basically this part is lining up across because we're following the perspective. This is what I'm saying. If you can't do generalized geometrical shapes like this, then first one that I did in perspective, the rest of it's going to be pretty difficult. So this is essentially your geometrical version of a torso, because your torso is really just like this. Is where the neck sits. Got your neck here, This is your torso, essentially. Oh, that's your torso, essentially. Now it's in a different perspective. But if I were to go and try to actually make this into a real torso, bam, we put in the arms, the muscles, all that good stuff. Now we got this. Of course, now I'm going into something a little bit more complicated because we're actually going into full body. But this is my exact point from here. I can turn these geometrical shapes into something that is more organic once I understand at least the entire form of it. Like, it's, you got to learn the simple forms to really move forward. I wish I had an orange or something. Orange, not the color. I'm hungry is all. I'm hungry is all. We got 173 people in here. Good to see everybody. Oops, let's go over this direction with this guy. Do you go to college to learn to draw, or you are self-taught? So, the generalized term self-taught, yes, I am self-taught. The reason why I say it the way I did was because there's actually kind of a point to be made by some professionals that have talked about this, which I found this very interesting. I was like, oh, they're kind of right. Self-taught is a very kind of, we try to use it as a loose term when we use it as an artist, trying to say, I didn't go to college, or I wasn't taught by a teacher, or I didn't have a mentor, that type of thing. But if we're talking about the literal version of self-taught, that means you did not learn from anything or anyone, as in anything, as in like a book even, or you did not even learn from a YouTube video. So the argument to be made is, if you learned anything from a YouTube video or a book, regardless of if you were in a classroom or not, if you were in a classroom, that's different. But if you were not in a classroom and you learned it on your own, but it was from a book, technically you did not teach that to you yourself. You sought out the knowledge from someone else who had already learned it. So in a way, that person was, in a sense, your teacher. So you did not invent the wheel, basically. Someone who went ahead and learned how to make a wheel and went and made that wheel, they can't claim to say they invented the wheel. So it's kind of a weird thing to talk about like that. But they're right. Technically, you're not self-taught because you didn't teach yourself everything there. You didn't make it up. But basically, yes. The answer to your question is, I did not learn this stuff specifically from a mentor or any person telling me. I sought out my own knowledge. I went to things on the internet. I looked up everything myself. No one taught me anything directly to me. No one directly told me anything. I went and looked everything up myself. And I also had never asked anyone on the internet a question that I had never gotten an answer that helped me. If I had ever asked. Because most of the time, everything that I learned was from me being like, well, what is the problem? And I went and found the problem. Self-taught would be to teach yourself to draw based off of your surroundings and experiences. Yes, exactly. So it would be based off of, like, just like those artists who created the rules we do now. It's like the person who created the wheel. They created that from nothing, but they took it from rules around them. That's kind of where it came from. So yes, if you learned it from your general, yeah. If you learned it from nature and stuff like that, you're technically self-taught. But that's the technical term. But I know exactly what you mean, because I called myself self-taught for a long time until I heard that this professional artist talking about how self-taught is kind of it's almost a lie. But we feel like we're self-taught because we never went to a college or anything. You know, the people who didn't go to college and learn something from a professor. But at the end of the day, even if you go to a college, they try to teach you stuff, but it's actually up to you to learn it. That's just the plain truth. You can flunk a college class, even if you're trying. So, uh, like, that's what I've been told is in college, they're not gonna really teach you they'll teach you. It's just they have all the knowledge right there condensed for you. So you go to a college because they say this is what you need to learn to know how to do this. Here it is. You learn all this stuff now, and you do a bunch of homework, like a crap ton of homework, like so much homework, like a boot camp, and that's how you get good. The person who doesn't do all that homework, the college teacher has they don't care. They're already getting paid from you. I mean, yes, they could care, but I'm saying if you don't care, they won't care. You have to care in order to get good. You have to care enough to even search it up yourself. That all those people that are famous, all those mangaka or artists you look up to, those are the people who, even in class, if something wasn't in front of them, they went and looked it up themselves. And if they could not find it for the life of them, they could have asked their teacher. But those people are good. Those are the people who are willing to look it up themselves when they can't find the answer from someone else. Or even if they could find the answer from someone else by asking. You want to be assertive. If you want to get good, you have to be assertive. Like, I mean, I did so many studies. Hey, we got 197 people in here. Good to see everyone. We got 226 likes. Look at that. We almost hit 200 today, guys. Are we going to hit 200? We'll see. We'll see. What do I do in an art stump? You must mean you're having a hard time drawing, I'm guessing. That's what you mean. Yeah, I guess you're uninspired. When in doubt, do studies. Because at the end of the day, it depends. Okay. I've learned that it's important to enjoy yourself while drawing. It's very important. So I tell people, make sure you do stuff you like in between doing the stuff you don't like. Because you will, if you want to be good, if you want to draw for a living, the truth is, no matter what, the truth is, you're going to have to do crap you don't like. You will. But you have to remember to also give yourself the time to do the stuff that reminds you why you're even trying to put yourself through that gross hell, why you even want to do that. So you always want to keep that fresh. But if you want to get good and you want to be a professional, you're going to have to put yourself through some stuff you might not want to do. So I made my torso on her smaller than in this, or I made it too short compared to theirs. So there's going to be a bit of a discrepancy in length and some stuff in the middle here that's overlapping that should not be overlapping. But in my defense, I was talking the whole time. I always draw better when listening to the stream. In the background, your magical Kuza. Well, thank you very much. Crucial KD. Problem solvers, yes. Basically, where do you find your reference? I use it on I find it on Pinterest. How do you approach applying cross-hatching to your drawings? I actually have a tutorial on my Patreon for that, but I approach it by learning how to cross-hatch and what different types of cross-hatching. You want to know that? You can look it up on YouTube. You can look it up on Pinterest. I actually have a Patreon video of cross hatching and the cross hatchings that I do. So I actually do have a Patreon tutorial on that. Like I said, I actually have a Patreon tutorial of so many things. And on top of that, on top of all that you can go and look up. So you're saying how to apply it. I'm just saying at first you won't even know how to do them. The technique to do them, because you trying to apply them won't even matter if you don't know how to properly do them, because then it'll just look weird, because you won't know how to apply them and you won't know how to actually do them through draftsmanship. But I apply them through the concept of lighting, because cross-hatching is quite literally what differentiates between a dark part of something. Typically, it's creating either a shade or it's converging into or transitioning into a shine, right? So that means the places I put it in are the places that would either be a shine or going into a shine or coming away from a shine. How far away is that? It's about that far away, so that means this is going right here. It's going right here. But generally speaking, I also kind of do some other techniques too. I wouldn't be able to necessarily show it in this moment because I would have to actually go to ink something like that. Ugh, this isn't going to look very good, darn it. I don't think it's going to look very good. Ugh, it's horrible. Proportion's all off here. Balance is off. What is this? Oh, a ponytail? Hold on. Oh gosh. I don't know if I'm gonna put a marker onto this. Because maybe a little bit. We would do this blue. I don't want to go too detailed with it. Oh, let's move this up here. We got 181 people in here. Good to see everyone. How would you make a pose? Good books to buy. I actually don't have any good books to buy. If anyone has any recommendations, I've never used any books to draw. I tried to, like I've mentioned before, I've tried to, and oh gosh, it just was not my deal. The question, how do you make a pose? I mean, I've studied poses and poses and poses and poses and poses and balance and poses and poses and balance and anatomy and the balance of anatomy and more poses, and from the knowledge of doing all that stuff, I can then generate my own poses. And that, I mean, that sounds like super... I mean, the question was already somewhat vague. Because it's kind of like, how do you create a pose? What pose do you want? Someone's standing there. Okay, they're going to be standing there. They're going to be standing there straight. I don't know. Maybe they could be not standing there straight because that might look too stiff. Okay, so we're going to have them kind of standing there relaxed. What does relaxed mean? Well, that goes into balance. You want to make sure that the character's balance when they're standing there feels more natural. So feeling more natural is the way the human body is we typically lean on one leg and then we let the other leg kind of relax. And then there's a balance to the body when you do that. And the balance to the body looks very similar to this. So this is your torso. And then do that. Boom, boom, boom. And this leg typically, goes over here, and the foot comes out like that. So generating a pose depends on what you're looking to create. Asking, okay, we want to have someone punching someone. Well, what angle are we going to go for? How hard are they punching them? Is it all the way? Is it at the end of the punch or the beginning of the punch? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself. And at the same time, if you don't know how to draw anyone punching someone, that's something you're going to have to look into. And that's why I was saying, me being able to do my poses is from me doing so much studying that I've learned the balance of this stuff. I've learned generalized poses and like things that I kind of default to, at least. And that's why you're always trying to still learn and do studies like this one I'm doing right now. You're always trying to do studies and still learn new poses that you can have in your arsenal in your head, because I could take this pose and be like, oh, I remember that study I did. Oh yeah, that's right. And then you could change this up. I could take this pose, move the arms, maybe tilt a little bit different, maybe the head's down, maybe she's getting splashed and she has her head down the other direction because she's closing her eyes. You can change stuff up like that once you have this as a kind of in your mental library. And for those of you who don't know what mental library is, it's literally what it sounds like. It's just your mental capacity, the capacity to hold the information. So your mind is a library for anything that you memorize. So basically, you memorized specific things you've studied, and if I did this pose enough times and I studied it enough times, it would then become stuck in my mind and I could go back to it. That's the whole point of repetition. You want to learn, but everything starts with one step at a time. If you don't know how to draw a decent head, a decent torso, a decent, hip, legs, arms, you shouldn't expect to do a full body action pose very nicely. Everything is a building process. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try to, because you need to know what level you're at. You need to know how far you can go now. You might get discouraged, but it shows you what you need to work on. And for me, one of the biggest things I need to continuously work on, and I haven't been doing very much, is because you can see how long these studies take for me, is I need to do more studies, because I'm not good at copying one-to-one. I mean, just exact. I'm not good at doing that. I've never been good at doing it, but it's actually an important skill to be able to do that if you want to learn faster. Being able to do proper studies is super important, because being able to do proper studies, it allows you to learn from these illustrations that you like so much. You say, wow, I really like that mouth. Well, you can break down why you like that mouth, and you can also break down how to actually draw that mouth. Got 178 people in here and 254 likes. Good to see everybody chillaxing in here. Oh, my back. Commissions. I do not have them open right now. Do you make money doing art? Yes. Draw while posing? Okay, now that's I'm not sure what you mean by that, but Bye bye. Oh, see you later, Atreyu Armstrong. Thank you for chilling with us. I have to go because I'm setting a sleep schedule. That's good. You should have a set sleep schedule. It's actually very good for your mental health. Which, by the way, mine's been horrible. I'm actually trying to get a more healthy sleeping schedule because, in general, if when you're young, yeah, you can try to push through and like try to do as much work as you can, which isn't a bad thing because youth is a good thing to have and be able to push yourself to your limits when you're young, not to the point where you hurt yourself. I'm not saying that, but push yourself when you're young because the older you get, the less you're going to actually be able to push yourself to those extents. So it's good to be able to use that when you're younger. Like for me, during my high school years, I think it was about 1 year, year and a half maybe, that I took during my high school time, and I do not condone this. I do not say to do this. I'm just saying what I did, because I told myself I was too far behind, and I wanted to catch up, and because I was very far behind compared to what you would say like your average professional that's like super big like Kishimoto was when they were at that age. So I was pretty bad, and I tried to push myself to catch up as fast as I could. I would have caught up much faster if I knew what I knew now about fundamentals. I didn't know enough about fundamentals, so kind of sucks. But kind of aimlessly went around. Anyways, basically what happened was I slept about 3 to 4 hours a night, typically about 3 hours a night, and practiced, and then went to school, and that's what I would do throughout the year. And then, but one night of the week, what I would do is I would sleep for like 12 hours straight. It was like 12, 14 hours sometimes I would sleep. 6 fingers, or am I missing something? No, that's part of the palm if you're talking about that. So if you're looking at a hand like this, and you got a finger here. So say this is a finger, that's a finger, this is a finger, this is a finger. We're going down at this perspective. You're going to see the palm, and you're going to see another finger there. And then you're just going to see the finger going down like this. Like, for example, if I do this towards the camera, you can see a palm, but I exaggerated the pooling point right here on purpose, because that's just what I do. Not to mention, that's how it is on the reference. Of course, I made that very badly. Let's clean that up. I could see it. I could soften that up a lot more, which I will. Oh, I didn't even show you. You guys missed it. Whatever. Oops. Got 164 people in here. Good to see everybody. Okay, so it's a visual angle and stuff. Yeah, it's just something with... And I chose to kind of make it protrude because of the way I just do that. But, yeah. There's things that you'd be surprised that are actually accurate that no one would ever do in their own stylized work. Because I've seen pictures where people's arms are moving specific ways, and I was like, I would have never drawn that like that. If I drew that like that, someone would have told me it was incorrect. And there's some weird anatomically strange things that happen. Let's go over here. I feel like I was trying to answer something before the hand thing. Oh, yeah. The sleeping schedule thing. Yeah, I slept for about 3 4 hours a night, and then one night of the week, which would typically be like Saturday or Sunday, I would sleep for like 12 hours, and so that's what I did for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. Like I said, I don't recommend doing that. Of course, there are some nights where I slept more than that, but because I just couldn't do it anymore. But because there's always exceptions where you end up sleeping longer. But for the most part of the year, that's what I did. But I was a crazy person. Like I said, I was an insane teenager. I was extremely dedicated. Like that's why I told you guys I'm not the smartest person. I've just worked really hard. Which through working really hard and learning things, you actually gain knowledge that makes people think you're really you might be smart. But the truth is, it's just an accumulation of knowledge that I've slowly obtained through doing stuff over and over again and learning things to where, you know, there's some pretty common sense things in the world that you'd be surprised if you just slow down for a second and think. It's easier than you might think. Or I guess we got to be humble, really. That's one thing. I was always humble, but one thing I had, be humble and try to put your pride aside for certain aspects of things. My pride is what killed me when I was younger. Have you paused drawing your manga for the challenge? New. Love your humility. Yeah, yeah, I wasn't the smartest guy. I mean, I feel a lot more, I wouldn't say intelligent, but I don't feel as dumb as I was back then. Okay, let's do some of our own stuff. Tired of doing this stuff. Um, Through hard work, open your third eye. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Kuzo, are you a graphic designer? No. No, I'm not. I mean, I can do some like super rudimentary graphic design stuff for myself, but I probably wouldn't do it for any clients or anything like that. Especially with nowadays like technology, because like actual graphic designers nowadays, they use specific kind of softwares to create cool stuff that make it super streamlined. Because I would be doing it like based on my own knowledge of art and my own processes. Where I'm not a graphic designer, but I've designed my own manga logo. I'm currently studying graphic design with a specialization in animation and illustration. Hope I can be like you someday. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it sounds like some fun. Graphic design can help with certain aspects of art for sure. Definitely can. Because they probably teach you a little bit, I would think, about like composition, a type of composition at least within the field that you're going into, I would imagine, which can help within laying out like pages and stuff. So good luck with that. It's awesome to hear. When will manga stream be back? Once I start doing my manga again. But yeah, they'll be back. Don't worry. Not sure exactly when, but yeah, I've definitely been itching to do my manga more. I've been doing so much frickin' practicing. Well, it's October, so let's play this a little louder. Hey Kuzo, what time at you place? It is 9:11 p.m. for me. How do you learn how to write mangas? Well, well, first of all, you would want to study manga, but they use a generalized kind of story structure called the hero's journey. Go ahead and look up the hero's journey or how to write the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is essentially the type of structure they use. And they use a type of 3-act structure in writing. And from there, they also use very specific shonen tactics to write manga, which, no, I don't know all of them. But if you read enough manga and think back on like patterns you might see, that's the best way to do that. But they do something considering like the hero's journey, where typically in most stories what happens is they have a goal, they're trying to work towards the goal, and this and that. Maybe they have some friends, there's some twists, this and that. Basically, you're going to have your character be at the point they are. You're going to have them develop to a certain point, and then at some point within the midpoint of the series, somewhere that's not the beginning, obviously. I mean, it could be in the beginning if you do a specific thing, but it doesn't matter. If there's a light... here, let me explain it this way. There's going to be a point in your story where you take your character, you develop them to a certain point, and then something in the story is going to happen that is so impactful that there's no way to go back from this specific point. And that's basically changing gears and going... It helps develop the story and the character. And yeah, kind of like Luffy. There's something that happens that changes him, and I don't know if it's necessarily midway through, but it changes him completely, and with his brother. And Naruto, something changed that can't go back, and that is with Sasuke and their relationship. He left the village. He became a little butthead and went and did a bunch of stuff with the Orochimaru, which was a very bad guy. So like stuff like that eventually happens. Of course, that wasn't necessarily midway. That's what I was saying. That's kind of subjective, like the midway part of. Basically, if you want to learn how to write manga, you have to learn how to write, at least. Learn some, like, basic concepts of writing, so that way you can even dissect how to write. This is what I mean by, when I started learning actually how to draw, it made me feel smarter, as in the fact that I realized that everything in this world is the frickin' same. Like, everything. You want to learn something? Where do you start? The basics. Everything in the world is like that, you know? It's kind of like you want to learn how to cook. You better learn how to use an oven first. Like that. You better at least know the general basics to what time to cook a certain amount of chicken or a whole chicken, you know, that type of stuff. You want to become an engineer, you're going to have to learn some certain basics even about engineering. You're not going to hop in there at the highest level and want to be able to from the beginning start doing engineering tasks for Tesla, you know. What page you on? 164. So everything in life, the simplest answer is, how do I learn how to do this? Well, what's the first step? Well, how do you write? Are there story structures? Yes, there are story structures. What are the story structures? What should I type up? How to write? Now, how to write is something where books do come in handy. Now, that is something where there's a plethora of books to go based off of. There's even a book that is about how to write manga, and it's from the artist and author of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So there's that book you could read. Very informative, by the way. So yeah, there's that. Books for writing, that is definitely a good thing. Hey, Kuzu, you're the best. Well, thank you. Oh, you're reading that book? Yeah. The book's cool. I haven't read all of it though. I'm just bad at like finishing reading things. What should I do first as a beginner? 1, make sure to draw the things that you like. You want to remember why you like to draw this stuff. 2, if you're talking about the stuff to actually get good, to grind at, the stuff that's not fun, you're going to want to learn perspective, form, value, and color theory. Typically around that order. You're typically going to want to learn perspective and form around the same time. Form kind of comes a little bit after perspective, because form is more advanced than specific, because perspective is learning the rules based on simplified shapes. I'm not getting tired at all. Oop, I accidentally hit my camera. Sorry about that, guys. Move this over. Move this over. What about gesture? Yes, gesture is something that does come along with learning anatomy more so. So gesture is typically something that you start picking up and hearing about when you're talking about anatomy. The first things, that's why I mentioned the basic rules. Those things such as form and anatomy, or form and a perspective. Because those are the things that are really going to even make gesture make any sense. Because some people are going to be like, gesture, and they're going to go try to draw this thing. And yeah, I don't know. You're not necessarily putting a gesture in perspective. I mean, not really. You're really just trying to get the balance of the figure and the flow. But when you go to start practicing anatomy and just learning the general shapes of the anatomy, gesture will become the next big step for you once you're learning anatomy and just how to draw someone standing there, stuff like that. Because if you say, how do you draw someone standing there and make it feel natural? That's gesture. If you have that question, that's gesture. How do I make it feel natural? You give some tips on how to fold clothes. I can just give you the general rule of pinch and pull. I actually have a video coming out tonight on my Patreon of folds and stuff. I actually already have a Patreon tutorial on folds, but I'm giving a more concise one coming out tonight. But the general concept is this side's the pull. Someone's bending their arm. This is pull. This side is the pinch, which is the side that you start getting a lot of the wrinkles and stuff like this. Now, my tutorial actually covers the more drastic, like it covers bigger wrinkles and like what happens on the cause and effect of them. So that's some of that. Holy crap, didn't expect the stream. I'm late. It's all good, Des Qualler. It's all good. We got 100. I didn't just yawn. We have 167 people in here and 303 likes. Dang, look at that. We've been going slightly down. Ever since a certain time, we've slowly been going downward. But it's okay, because it's getting later and later. I know that. Or do I know that? No, okay. Of course I know that. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, shoot. You guys can hardly see. Teach me how to draw as good as you. No. Okay. It doesn't work like that. You gotta work hard. You gotta want it so much that you're willing to look it up. Other than that, if you want to get some knowledge drops, you can go ahead and like watch a lot of the streams if you haven't already, because the streams actually have a lot of, like this one specifically, I answered quite a few questions. Some of them were a little harsher, but this stream kind of gave a lot of decent insight into a lot of different stuff. There we go. I think that should cover it for this page. Page only took forever and a half. How long did he draw? Looks good though. I mean, that page took a little bit too long. A little bit meaning very long. Daily quota is 30 pages of sketches a night. Yeah, for... Yeah, you're right. It is a matter of practice. I think I am going to do a daily quota of 30 pages of sketches a night. That might be a little bit... Oh, you said 20? That might be a little bit much, only because I don't know if you can pull off that many. Not to doubt you. It depends on how much stuff you put on a page, is what I'm trying to say. Because 20 pages a day is already very hard. You'd be extremely surprised how hard 20 pages a day actually is. Yeah. Because, let's put it this way. If you did 20 pages a day, you would be able to finish the 600-page sketchbook challenge in a month's time, which is the sketchbook challenge. Which is quite hard. I'm gonna be honest. So far, this has been pretty hard. Did not expect that. Did not expect it to be so hard, eh? I'm gonna do another study here, but it's not gonna be the same kind of study. I'm doing a study of the pose, essentially. Let's go for it. Alright, so I want to account in the fact that most of this pose is almost flat on them. So I want to take into account that the head is going at this angle. I can't see her body, so I have to assume. I'm going based off of this reference right here, which is already saved. So it does show that this shoulder is here roughly, and then this shoulder is here roughly. So I'm going to attach this for the collarbone, and we're going to go down this way because the body has a gesture that is moving in this sort of fashion. And we have this, and then we have this for the hips. And this chick has some either wide thigh, like wide hips, or some big old thighs. This leg actually comes up here, does that, then cuts down like this. Oh. So I'm obviously not doing this with any guidelines. I was trying to be more cautious, more conscious of my lines, but turns out I drew a part of the body first that then if I draw everything over it, it's just gonna look like a mangled mess here, as you can see. We can do another pose reference and not do this messed up version. So we now have a boom. It's coming up here. Angled, boom, come down, connects there. And then we have the foot landing here. We do see the bottom of the foot. Cool. This foot's a little gimpy, but generally, we got the general pose. See, there's different things you can focus on per drawing. So for this, I'm going to save this. New one. Let's go down here, go right here, and got this angle here. 157 people in here. Good to see everyone. Good to see everyone chillaxing with us. Okay. I am consciously now trying to make the decision to do less lines. I keep on doing too many lines with this light pencil. And I've mentioned this before. This light pencil is making me do more lines than I want to, because my mind's trying to register that it's making lines, but it's just lighter than normal. This pose is a little hard because they over-exaggerated some of the bend on some of the limbs just for stylized purposes. Can you show me your Pinterest page name? I can't find it, please. I believe it's Christopher Crady. Christopher, and Crady is Krady. By the way, if you don't know how to specifically spell it, it's on pretty much all of my social media. It's on my YouTube channel. It's on my Instagram. I think it's even on my Twitter. So, like, my name's not, like, a secret or anything. I'm hoping... Oh, sorry. This is like super off to the side. Darn it, man. go all out on a drawing. My name is Christopher Crady on Pinterest, I believe. Christopher and then Crady, Krady. Oh yeah. There it is, and I'm going to take it off because that's kind of annoying having that there. Jeez, what is stopping my book from moving over further? Alright, that should be good enough, right? Alright, so let's do this. Sham. The music be effing rocking. You have a test right now? Oh no. That sucks. Yeah, good luck. Found it. It says Ni Judo. Ni Judo. Ni Judo na. Alright. Oh. Oh, my back. What should I do? I keep on yawning because of the I didn't have very much sleep. That's provocative. All right, let's go for it. I just thought of something in my head. Oh, and you sickos, what were you thinking? She's getting foliage from the ground. She's picking up stuff from the ground. You guys are disgusting. You guys just sicken me right now. How dare you think I drew something provocative? That is just absolutely irresponsible. I don't even know where you got that idea from. That I was drawing something weird like that. You guys are weird. Why is there so many Christopher Crady accounts on Pinterest? Really? Nice post. Goodness gracious. See? Someone already. You guys are nasty. I can't even trust any of you anymore. Not even one of you. Where's my other marker? Where's my other orange marker? Oh, there it is. Hey, what is that? Hey, yo, what is that? I learned how to draw male too much. Now I can't draw female. Ah, I know how that goes. Down bad. Is that a salmon? What? A very wholesome image. draw some of her hair there. You people. Kuzo on Shonen Jump? What do you mean? I'm not on Shonen Jump. What are you drawing there? Just a hardworking farmer picking up trash? What? A very wholesome image. Kuzo, what's your account on Pinterest? It's Christopher Crady. That's it. No dislikes? Oh, really? That's crazy. No dislikes, which means that one guy isn't online on Tuesdays. Well, believe it or not, within the first 5 minutes of me uploading my YouTube video, my main one, it got 2 dislikes, and I was like, man, these people are like waiting around. It's just so funny. Okay. Enough of the draw a man with thick thighs. Yo, Pogs up. Is that your business card? Yeah, sure. Alrighty. Well, you know what? There is one dislike. Oh, dang. As I said that, someone disliked it. It's probably just someone trolling. Someone who's probably already here. They probably unliked it and then disliked it. How you choose the name Kuzo. So Kuzo is based on my full channel name, Kuzomari. If you do not know I have a full channel. The main channel, hopefully you do. But hopefully you do. But Kuzomari was the name of the first anime character I created. Well, first character I created. So I'm just looking at some comments. Huh. Favorite anime right now? Christopher is a director of Shonen Jump. Oh. Probably some other random Christopher. Ignored says G Hua. I tried to look for a comment that you did, but the only one I saw was one word. Oh, Dang. So many Christopher Crady's. Oh, that's the only other one I saw from you. Hopefully you didn't think I ignored you. I just woke up, said Una. Oh, we are going to be ending very soon here. I forgot this was your second channel. Thanks for answering. Great stream. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, this is my second channel. It's just based on Kuzomari. So I just named myself Kuzo on here. Oh, that's what you were saying. I thought you were saying I ignored you. People dislike because they get ignored. I mean, sometimes I miss comments. I mean, if they do, it is what it is. It's not like I mean to ignore people. You gotta keep a stream going. There's only so many things I can do. Like, for example, me sitting there reading all those comments. I can't do that all the time. I gotta try to keep the stream at least semi-engaging and also engagement. So get you guys to talk and also talk to you guys. So try to do a little bit of both. Was the first chapter releasing? Not sure, but I am actually going to be making a deadline for myself, so don't worry. I will actually have a deadline for myself. I was going to try to quickly finish this challenge and move on from this challenge, and then there we go. And then be able to completely focus on my manga and YouTube channels, both. Bazam. Well, you know what? I think this is going to be... I honestly look forward to these streams. That's awesome to hear. Day 7 star 246. But this is going to be the end of the stream. Just looking. I looked. My teacher didn't check out your channel. It's fine. But in any case, it was a super fun stream. I am going to be ending this stream now. I do not know if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow or not. Definitely keep in touch with Instagram now that it's finally up, and Twitter. Might or might not. We'll see, because I kind of want to work on some new videos, because I am going to be going away next week, so I want to have some videos in back stock to upload and have for when I'm gone. But in any case, it was super fun. I'll see you guys in the next stream, and you guys have a good day or night wherever you live. Peace out.